Everybody, welcome along to the Legit Crypto Lounge, the place that brings together real projects with real people. For today's AMA, we're joined by the team behind BLOCVEST, and we're joined by Celtic Warrior and Jeremy. In terms of the structure for the next hour or so, we'll find out more about the team, their background, experience, external experience and specific experience within crypto. Then we can find out more about the project in terms of where it's at now and what the plans are going forward. And then we can have a Q&A at the end. So before we go into detail about your project itself, Jeremy and Celtic, it'd be great to understand, like I said, more about the team behind the token. So if you wouldn't mind giving us a quick intro about you and your teammates, that'd be great.
Okay. Well, my name is Celtic. I'm the CEO of BLOCVEST. I've been in business, well, probably most of my life now. The last 8 to 10 years in the e-commerce world and web platforms and stuff like that. I've been in crypto over 2 years or somewhere in around that time period. And this would be my first Web3 project. But been involved, you know, online and internet with as I said, 8-9 years now. So quite a bit of experience when it comes to, you know, online marketing, online activity, e-commerce and stuff like that. So we are a registered company. So this is a business venture in crypto as opposed to just a crypto project, basically.
Yeah, I did check. I did have a quick look and saw you on Company's House, checked out your details and stuff. So I know it's all legit.
Yep. So I'll let Jeremy just jump in there whenever he wants.
Well, I'm Jeremy. I'm the CTO of BLOCVEST. I've been in crypto about 1.5 years. Been on a few different projects myself. I've been in real world business for over 20 years now as well. So I do have all of that experience to bring to the table as well. Let's see, I think I saw Bruno in here.
And who else is in your team?
We got Relly, the Wolf of Wall Street. Both of them should be unmuted, and that would be it for it here.
Oh, sorry, we've got to they've put the hands up. Let me just allow you to speak, guys.
All right, I'm unmuted now. Hello, guys. Bruno. I'm the head of public relationships and community management. And I've been into crypto. I started around 2.5-3 years ago. Been working full time since then. And yeah, over the time, met these guys. We decided to go through with this project. It was an idea from Celtic, and that has been an amazing journey so far. I think we have Rele as well with us. If you can unmute him.
Yeah, I'm here, bro.
All right.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Rele. I'm from Sweden. I've been into crypto for about 1.5-2 years now. I'm the head of social media over at BLOCVEST. And yeah, I guess I'll pass the word back to our CEO.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, perfect. Thanks for the introductions. Okay, so let's get cracking then, straight into the token. Do you want to take us through what you've created today? Because obviously I understand that BLOCVAULT itself has already launched and stuff, and then take us through an overall vision of what you're creating for the future, so we can then drill down into some of the details.
Yeah, perfect. Well, look, the BLOCVAULT ecosystem is made up of 5 tokens and 8 modules. And that would be, you know, the end goal and the bigger vision, right? To date, we've already launched the BLOCVAULT token itself and the staking platform to go with. We have that launched since the 22nd of February, just gone. And we are now moving on to our second module, which is called BLOCVEST. BLOCVEST is a multi-vault utility for passive income generation. The BLOCVEST token itself has, as I said, staking with it, and the rewards are the staking rewards are quite lucrative. You can lock for 90 days, 100. Sorry, you can do 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, or 12-month lock. And yeah, you just
okay.
stake it.
But just before we get into the details of the vesting BLOCVEST, can we just recap on BLOCVAULT itself, and then we can go into the detail about BLOCVEST that's coming up now and stuff. So
he's talking about the vesting on BLOCVAULT that you can vest.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Yep.
Sorry, I actually am on BLOCVAULT.
Right.
Yeah, because BLOCVAULT has its own staking platform.
I see. Okay, yeah.
You'll find it there, actually, if you want to have a look for it. If you just go on the website across the
He's on it.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, yeah. So you've got between 3 months and a year's lock on those.
Correct. So originally, when we done that, we set the reward very high. Now, as of today, we made an announcement in our channel because we've actually hit 1/3 of our supply. That will split in half and come back to 240% over a 12-month period, right?
Okay. I was going to ask about that because it seems really high. I was going to ask how sustainable that was.
Right. Yeah. No. We had planned that. You know what? The original first holders of it and the first people to come on the journey with us, all the private sale holders, and that vested day one, that we would do something really good until we got to 1/3 of supply. Then we drop by half, and then we get to 1.5, which is half of our supply, and then we drop again to the max then at that point would be 120% per year.
Okay, and all of that's cut in half. So the 90 days as of today, tomorrow is going to be 60% APY.
Yes, 24 hours from now that drops in half. We've made that announcement, and look, I mean, everybody that's been with us from the start is quite happy. They've already reaped the rewards of the last month of it being so high.
Sure. Yeah, no, that seems sensible, definitely. Should we have a quick look at the chart? Do you want to load up the chart, Toby, so we can see where we're at with it? So do you want to talk us through how launch went and where you're at now?
Okay. Well, originally we were a relaunch because we launched in January of this year, and we had a developer who went rogue on us. So we initially had to stop the trade and to make sure that everybody's investment was safe and that BLOCVAULT itself as an ecosystem was going to be safe also. So we stopped the trade. We moved to get Brew Labs to do us a new contract, and then we launched on V2. Okay. So we launched V2 on February 22nd. We had a good enough launch, a bit of a dip, and we've been, moving okay since then to here. We still have to list on CoinMarketCap and CoinGecko and things like that. And there's that's we've tried that once or twice, but it's still ongoing, right? Certain requirements that they need and that we have to meet yet. So
is that volume? Is it volume that's lacking?
Yeah, actually, I think they want to see some more in liquidity, so we need to boost the liquidity and then work on the volume.
Okay.
It's hard to know really these days what they need. They seem to change their criteria from day to day.
Yeah, I think it's getting stricter unless you've got an inside guy helping you.
Yeah, but you know what? There's nothing wrong with it getting stricter either, but it would be nice to know the actual, a set criteria, and then, everybody could work towards that criteria or know that's exactly what you need.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, that's fair. Yeah. So what we're at about 500k market cap. What's the LP ratio like at the minute? I can't see that on my screen.
I think it's about 40k in LP.
Okay, so just under 10%.
Pretty accurate. 37,000 in the LP, and market cap of 580.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay.
No, we do boost that liquidity in the next 7 to 10 days because, as I said to you, this being a V2 launch, and we had liquidity locked on the first one, right? So that liquidity comes unlocked in about 9 days from now, and it will allow us to boost the liquidity here. Unfortunately, we have to fund V2 out of the back pocket, right?
Right. And how much LP are you going to be able to take out from V1?
I think there's like 102 BNB.
Okay.
So we have plenty that we can, boost in here.
Cool. Right. Okay. So obviously BLOCVEST's launched, ready. Now you're ready to crack on with BLOCVEST. Just playing devil's advocate. Some people may obviously think you've created one token, volume's not amazing, market cap 500k. Why are you then trying so early to create another token within the ecosystem rather than focusing on your original one?
Well, we're bringing out the utilities on the platform one after another, and BLOCVEST was the next one that was that we seen, that was more or less kind of the next one ready for us to take on. And with that said, we do have the NFT marketplace over 65% finished at the moment. The multi-chain swap is being built at the moment, so they're just not, they're not ready to go right now. So the Trickle Vault idea kind of appealed to us, and we think it would be popular in the crypto space, so we decided to move forward with that.
Okay. And we've had a chat separately ahead of.
Just to add real quick, if I can, all of the other modules are actually added use case to the token that's out now, because there is a portion of tax that goes back to that token's treasury. That token's treasury will then buy up the token, raising the price for it over time. So everything in the ecosystem funnels back to that original token, which is BLOCVEST.
It goes to a treasury. Will you, once all these, how many tokens are going to be in the ecosystem? I know we've got all this utility. As you say, 5?
There will be 5 eventually.
And will you be using that treasury to support all the tokens, or are you just going to be using it to support the original BLOCVEST?
There'll be a BLOCVEST token treasury, and there'll be a BLOCVEST token treasury. And
cool.
I don't think the other ones at this point are going to need a treasury for what their use cases are.
Yeah, understood.
Okay, shall we have a look at BLOCVEST then? Do you want to take us through how that works? I know it's quite complicated. You've got different elements within it, haven't you? So it'd be great to have an understanding of how that all works.
Yeah, certainly. I'll let Jerry pop in there on that one, because he's well endowed when it comes to this module.
Yeah, so you can see it's the world's first Trickle Vault passive income generator there. We're going to have a 10 million total token supply. The tax on the token is going to be 10% on buys and sells. 5% of that tax will be going back to the shareholder vault. 2% of that tax will go over to the BLOCVEST token treasury. 2% will be for liquidity, and 1% will be for ecosystem development. The tax breakdown. Now, the shareholder vault, when you deposit, you were on it scroll back up there. The shareholder vault, when you deposit in there, you will be getting a portion based on your holdings in there and your time in of those taxes that come in. So throughout the month, they accumulate in that shareholder vault, and on the first of the next month, they pay out to everybody that's in there. It will be prorated based on your time in as well as the bag size, right? And as far as how the vault works, you're going to be depositing X amount of tokens with a dollar value attached to that. So we're going to take a snapshot of the dollar value, and then it's locked for 6 months. At the end of the 6 months, if you want to come out of that vault after they unlock, you can, but you're going to get the dollar value that you put in back. So you, depending on what the token's price is, you may not get the same amount of tokens. If the token price is less, you would get the same amount of tokens. Does that make sense?
So you would always get what you put in as a minimum?
Correct.
And because this is a new token, do you have to buy BLOCVAULT and then transfer it, or are you buying the BLOCVEST token directly?
Yeah, it'd be directly. It's a standalone token. So the way that it works with BLOCVAULT is the 2% tax going back to the Treasury contract.
Okay.
And then there will be other micro fees in this ecosystem as well for the Treasury of BLOCVEST itself. So that's the shareholder vault. The Trickle Vault is the most complicated one. You're going to be depositing your tokens in there. Your base rate would be 0.5% per day of the total that you deposited, which you can then compound or claim. You can compound it as much as you would like. You can only claim it 365 times. So at 0.5%, if you claimed every day 365 times, that would get you 182% APY.
And that's
based on that number.
the 365 times, that's in total for the lifetime of it?
Of the wallet, yes.
Yes.
So if you want to go into it again, you would have to start a new wallet. Yep. There's a 10% tax on deposits, compounds, and claims. So there is that as well. So the idea here is to compound enough to make your claims worthwhile to you over time, right?
Yep.
If you participate in a private sale, you would get a bronze NFT if you make the full 2 BNB contribution. That offer is good until Wednesday, and that NFT value is $1,000. The NFT would boost your daily claimable funds to 0.75%. There's a silver NFT that would boost you to 1%. There's a gold NFT that would boost you to 1.5%, and there's a platinum NFT that would boost you to 2%. And that would be on your daily interest earnings.
And have you established the value for each of these NFTs? You mentioned the bronze one. What about the rest?
Yeah, the bronze is 1,000. The silver is 5,000. The gold and the platinum are going to be limited in number and like slow released every now and then, right? So maybe once a quarter we'll drop 5 available for sale kind of thing.
Okay.
The gold is 35,000. The platinum is 75,000. I know that sounds like high numbers, but 1.5% and 2% when you compound it over time is a very powerful tool. So that really is not a lot of money when you take that into consideration.
On that point, Jeremy, where do these funds go from the NFTs?
They would be going to our NFT marketplace. It's about 65% done. So we're trying to line that up with the release of this for the NFT portion of this to be live on there as well.
So it's going to be used to fund the development of the marketplace, is it?
Oh, you mean the money from the NFTs?
Yeah,
the money from the NFTs is going to be split off. 70% of the sales goes into the treasury of the BLOCVEST token. 30% would go into development of the ecosystem. Now that 70% that goes into the treasury contract, this treasury contract can not only buy back tokens and raise the price for by holding tokens, but it also can use the BNB that goes in there to pair for liquidity and add liquidity into that ecosystem as well. With the way these things work, I'm sure you can understand that the need of liquidity over time in that pool. So we had to have a way of doing that. Those tokens would also be able to be withdrawn at a max of 5% of the total supply every 30 days. So The tokens are locked in the contract for 30 days. At the end of that 30-day period, you can pull up to 5% of the total supply out. Now, what those tokens, if we did that, would be to top up the Trickle Vault or top up the Accumulator Vault, which that is the Trickle Vault. We still have the Accumulator Vault to go through.
Do you get these boosts just by holding the NFT, or do you have to do something with it? Do you have to stake it or anything?
At right now, the way that it is set up is you are going to just hold it in your wallet, and they're not going to be transferable. So once you're using those with that wallet, if you were to start another wallet, you would need to purchase new NFTs.
Yeah.
Now, we are going to try to see if we can work in staking them in the contract, and that way we can have a marketplace for the NFTs that aren't being used with the Trickle Vault, so people can sell them or trade them and that kind of thing if they never use them. But once you use it, you lose it. Either way, that's how that would work.
Yes, it's basically, I guess it's kind of good for as long as you've got your 365 claims, right?
Correct. Yeah. And then if you're at 1% of your daily claims, right? So to get the total value of what is showing in there, you need to have what, 100 days of 1% claims to get that total value out, right?
Mm-hmm.
So at 2%, you would need 50 days. At 0.5%, you need 200. So that's another thing to keep in mind when you're thinking about where you want to go and how many claims you want to save for that.
The looking at the Treasury and the supply and distribution. So supply and distribution, it says Treasury 1% locked, but the Treasury receives BNB through the NFT sales.
Correct. And micro fees around the system. So we're going to start it off with one supplier in there, and then as the thing goes on and it builds BNB in there, we'll buy up more supply.
Okay. And it says on here locked. So what's the lock on it?
That's the 30-day lock, and after 30 days, you're able to pull out up to 5%.
Cool.
Just a quick question on the NFTs. Can you get multiple NFTs in the same wallet?
Yeah. So what you would have to do is buy the bronze, then you're eligible to buy the silver. Once you buy the silver, then you're eligible to buy the gold. So you have to buy each one to get up to that 2%.
How would that work when? No, it doesn't matter actually. So I'm just trying to think how that would work if you've already claimed with the bronze and then you go on to the silver, but it'll be fine, won't it? It's just.
Yeah, basically we'll just check your wallet, and if you have a new NFT, the next day's percent would be raised, right? It wouldn't obviously do it quickly, but when you go in there to compound or claim, that's when it would update in the pool.
And the NFTs, the bronze and silver, are they unlimited? Is there an unlimited supply?
Correct.
But the gold and platinum you're going to limit those?
Correct.
Okay.
I feel like 1% is sustainable, but if everybody had 2%, that'd be a little hard to cope with, you know.
Sure. Yeah, because looking at this, up to 730% APY with the platinum, it's pretty high.
Yeah, that's without compounding. That's just claiming every day, 365 days, right? So that's how that would work. So the minute you compound, those numbers go up. So it definitely has a pretty big power of bringing you back some big returns over time. It's not quick; it's over time.
Sure.
Now, when you get to a certain point, which right now that point is about 1% of liquidity value, so your daily claim, and that's 1% of liquidity value in the liquidity pool, you would incur a whale tax. The whale tax would work, whereas you would get 60% of that value, and then 30% of that value would go back to liquidity, and 10% would stay in the the Trickle Vault in tokens.
Okay. Yep. That makes sense. And then you've also got the Accumulator Vault.
Correct. The Accumulator Vault is worked out for people who, are getting paid weekly, bi-weekly, monthly, that kind of thing. You're going to sign up for paying weekly, bi-weekly, or monthly, throw $50 in there, $100, each period. And so you get 20% back on that money. So how that would work is you deposit 1 week, your $100. The next week, you deposit another $100. Then you're able to claim your 120 from the week before. But you have to deposit the same amount value-wise, dollar value-wise, or more to be able to get the 20% on the prior period. So if you miss or deposit less to lower what you're doing each time, you would lose out on the 20%, but you'd still get your initial that you put in there.
Okay, so week one, I put in $100. At the end of the week, it's worth $120, and I keep doing that. But if I take out, then I miss the next week. Is that right?
No. You would put in your $100.
Yeah.
Week 2 comes around. You're going to have that 24-hour period that you need to make your $100 payment or deposit, I guess would be the right word. You make that $100 deposit, and then that 120 from the prior week unlocks for you to take out.
Okay.
Now, if you make less than $100, all you would be able to unlock and take out would be the $100 that you had the week prior, right?
Yeah.
If you put in more than $100, let's say 150, you'd still be able to take out your 120, but the next week after that, you'd have to do 150 or more to be able to get your 20% on top of that. So let's say you did the 150 and then you needed to drop it back down to 100. The week that you dropped it down to 100, you would lose out on your 20% from the week before, but the following week after that, you just put $100 in there and get your 20% on your 100 again. So you're just missing out on that 1 week that you have to lower it.
Yep. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. This is all bought in the native token, isn't it? So
correct. Every vault you're going to be dropping the native token into. The Accumulator Vault and the Shareholder Vault are going to be doing things off of value of the token. So it's going to be off dollar value, not token count.
Mm-hmm.
The Trickle Vault would be off token count.
Yes. Okay. So basically, you buy this token, and then you choose. Well, yeah, you choose which of these 3 options you go for.
Yeah, and you can certainly put them into all 3. The Shareholder Vault, you're able to build your position as well. I know you're locked in there for 6 months, but if you wanted to add some more, you could. It would just start your 6-month lock over.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. So you bought in $1,000, and then in 3 months' time, you want to put in another $1,000. That resets then to the 6 months.
Right, to 6 months from your most recent deposit. That's correct.
Okay.
And then you're boosting your share in that pool, so the BUSD that you're getting from the taxes, you get a bigger share of that, right?
Yep.
And so, say you want to use the Accumulator Vault, get your 20%, and you could take your 20% gains and dump them off into the Shareholder Vault to boost your position, or put them over into the Trickle Vault. You're also able to add to the Trickle Vault over time too.
Okay. Nice. And I presumably you've done all the figures in the background to work out that this is sustainable based on all of these different elements.
Yes. And clearly other parts of the ecosystem, once all built out, we'll be sending some microfees back to this system so that, like I said, the liquidity pool will need to be bolstered by us. So we have that plan and know we need to do that.
Yeah. Okay. Do you have anything to add, Toby?
No, but I can't wait for the breakdown of it all, like a visual kind of to picture it all working. What are your plans in terms of like explaining this to people and making it easy to get into and easy to understand?
Well, I was gonna mention that, like I said, the white paper I mentioned prior to us starting should be ready by the end of the weekend, like all dolled up. And we also are making an animation video just for this module, which will use the same little character for all the rest of the ecosystem. But we're starting with this one because we know how complicated it is to get. So you'll have a way to read it. You'll have a way to visually understand it. You'll have a way to come into our our main chat on Wednesdays at 8 p.m. UTC. We have weekly AMAs for any questions like that as well. So you'll have audio, visual, and able to read it. And that should cover about all the ways that we do it.
Yeah, awesome. And what would your strategy be going into this, Jeremy?
I'd probably want to have something in everything, right? So I'd want to have some tokens in my wallet. I'd want to have some tokens in each vault.
Would you do a third?
You got 10 million total supply, right? So
yeah,
as people buy it up, the price is going to go up, right? Especially with the Treasury contract. Buying tokens back. So you would be able to use some of that price action to say, get your next level NFT if the price action is that great, right? So you just have to kind of see how that works. There's definitely some game theory going into all these different pools, and we don't know what everybody's going to do. So
yeah.
It's going to be interesting to watch.
Strategies.
Yeah. But the Trickle Vault, to me, has got the most potential over time to get you the greatest return, even if you're at the 0.5%. If you just leave it in there and compound it enough times, that's going to get to a tremendous value, right? Now, when you get to like 25% of the supply that your value is worth in there, I think we're going to cap it off at somewhere in that ballpark. You can't have more than total supply, right? So somewhere in between 25 and 30%, and that would leave your 0.5% or 1% at a pretty good value coming back out.
Okay. Probably a good time at this stage, because this is your new feature, to open this part up specifically for Q&A. So if anybody does have any questions within the community, feel free to raise your hand. We'll unmute you and you can ask a question. I'll have a quick look and see if there's any questions going on in the chat as well.
We've got plenty of text questions, to be honest with you. But I'm trying to find the ones that relate most to BLOCVEST, because I guess that's what it's really about at the minute.
Yeah.
So I'm going to cut to the nitty gritty on this. What is your strongest advantage that you think will make your team lead in the market? So I guess talk about your strengths of your team. Why do you think your team are going to be the one to make this a success?
Do you want me to pop in there, Jeremy?
Yes, please. I got to finish cutting this rotor.
Okay, no problem. Well, look, the way our approach is very simple, guys. We're approaching this from a business perspective as opposed to a couple of kids trying to, create a crypto project. Our approach to it is long term, and the idea behind what we're doing is module by module. So we know the ecosystem is quite large, and there's ideas that are on our website that we haven't fully teased out yet either. But with that said, we are tackling it very sensibly, module by module, bringing out a module and moving on to the next one. So we're not wasting, money on having 10% of everything done and nothing finished, right? And I think that type of strategy in this space, along with sensible partnerships, finding the right people to partner with and the right projects to partner with, will give us an edge in time. And we're committed, fully committed, as I said, on a business level and from a crypto level.
Yeah, understood. That's cool. What strategy does a BLOCVEST use to prevent your token suffering from inflation? But you've already mentioned the Treasury wallet, haven't you? Doing buyback and was it buyback and burn, or was it buyback and back into the system?
There's no burn function. It's just buy back to the system.
Yeah, back into the ecosystem. Yeah,
correct.
I don't know if
in terms of that
hand up
module, the best bet against that is compounding over time in the Trickle Vault.
Sorry, say that again.
that in the best bet in this ecosystem of the BLOCVEST for hedging against inflation would be compounding in the Trickle Vault over time.
This I think it's kind of go on, Mark. You're
I was just going to say, Crypto Queen's got a question about if the supply is unlimited. I presume this is referring to NFTs and the gold and bronze. Sorry, the bronze and silver. Then will your share to collect get smaller?
No, the collection inside that vault is based on what you put in, and that's it. Anybody else in that vault doesn't mean anything to your stake in that vault.
Okay.
How long do you guys plan to keep on this one before you release the next module? Have you got a time frame in mind of the next release?
The next release of the next module?
Yeah.
Well, this here is still getting tested on the testnet and mainnet and whatnot. So this probably won't be ready for another 3 to 4 weeks. Make sure everything is all good to go at launch, so you're not launching a token and waiting on these vaults to get done kind of thing. So with that being said, the NFT marketplace is about the same time frame away. So those would kind of come out together. And then once the NFT marketplace and BLOCVEST is up off the ground, we'll start pushing that NFT marketplace out to, because it's going to be multi-chain. So ETH, Solana, Crow, as well as Matic, and then BSC. We'll push that out to the artists and try to get some partnerships on that NFT platform to get some more attention on our ecosystem and project. And then I believe that Celtic was the DEX aggregator, or the cross-chain swap next on the list.
Well, I know that the launch pad will be somewhere in around that time too. So they'll probably the same company. We're using a company called F-Tribe. They're making the NFT platform, and they're also doing the cross-chain swap, right? They sent me images the other day, guys. I know the NFT marketplace is 65% done, but they also sent within the Google file there was images of the multi-chain swap as well. So I'm not 100% certain how far gone they are on that, because they didn't give me that percent. So definitely, I know the NFT marketplace is, over 65% finished, and the time frame is fairly soon. And I know Brew Labs, who we're working with, will be, kicking the launchpad into gear over the next. Well, look, with this coming out now, we're not in any rush, so it'll be 6 weeks. Maybe we might push it back out down the road a little bit. And the NFT marketplace maybe coming before it. We were kind of going to put the launchpad as priority, and then it's kind of happening now that things are starting to come together, and we're wondering which one will we go with, more so than anything, right? But the NFT marketplace makes sense next, along with BLOCVEST, because of minting those NFTs. So it makes sense to bring that about. And I think then, look, even if things are done in the background and ready to go, we'd probably hold them till we get some time under our belt to, really shove these out properly, and then, drop them as we see fit.
I think that's a good strategy. You don't want to be releasing everything one after the other, because it's just going to dilute everything, isn't it? You want to be able to build up that hype and continue with the growth and stuff, rather than bringing it all out and diluting it. And I agree that this BLOCVEST should be the one that you bring out next, because it feels more unique when comparing it to a launch pad that there's a lot of them out there and stuff. This feels like a point of difference.
Well, when we thought about it, and earlier when you asked me, why would you bring your token out just after a token? When we look at BLOCVEST, the idea and the top on our own team is that this is the module that will shine a light on the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's so unique. It's a first in the world. It's never been done in crypto before. We know there's aspects of it that kind of have been done, but this triple vault system is completely unique and very powerful if used correctly. So we can see a lot of people being interested in this, which brings a lot of people to our ecosystem. And over time, you know, that grows and grows and grows. So I think this is the most, like you said, it's the smartest move for us right now. And to hold on to our cards of what we've got, give it some time, and then, you know, create the hype for the next one, create the hype for the next one. I think the feel even in our own community is they would rather see things being delivered with, you know, distance between them. So as it does exactly what we're discussing now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely makes sense. So when I had a quick look at your roadmap before this AMA, doing a bit of research, it looked like this was originally planned for launch in March. Was the setback because of the issues with the dev?
Yeah, like a lot of we had right issues there, but anyway, onward upwards, right? That kicked everything down the road. But with that said, too, originally we planned BLOCVEST as a single vault, right? And then we got, you know, around the table and, well, what if we added this? What if we done that? How could we make this better? You know the way this thing goes, right? Yeah. And it became 3 vaults, 9 contracts involved, you know, so it just grew into something way bigger, but also something that the space, you know, could eat up, right? So we said, no, you know what, let's make it what it is. If the time is longer, so be it, but just that's it, you know. And so that's what we've done.
Yep. Okay. And the roadmap leads on until like June, July time. So obviously we're a month back now. I guess you're just gonna plan in these utilities and launch them as and when you see fit, like you said. Even if they're ready, you'll time it so that it's the right time to release and not necessarily stick hard to this roadmap schedule.
No, and I think actually I was looking at the website the other day because I designed that myself, and I think I'm tying with just going in there and trying to change that from a scenario of, you know, January, February, March, April, and do like, you know, quarter 2, 3, 4, and because it gives us a wider window. And while while we want the roadmap, and originally the vision on the roadmap is kind of, you know, what we see, but sure, everything is changing because we're innovating and we're adding to it every single day, and we're looking at ways to push out to market. Like we already have, I've done the deals with TradingView for the charting. We're going to put a charting platform on the website. The reason behind the charting platform on the website is because then we can go to Google AdWords and we can advertise charting worldwide where we can't advertise crypto, right? So it opens doors to bring people to the ecosystem. So that charting platform will allow me to engage PCP through Google worldwide to bring more attention to the ecosystem. So it's little moves like that from a marketing point of view, from getting us out there. While the charting platform might only show our tokens to begin with down the line, it's still a charting platform which is legally allowed to. We're legally allowed to put that up on Google AdWords and push it, right? So yeah, clever moves, you know, make for big things long term, right?
Yeah, definitely. And you've got a lot of other plans as well within your ecosystem and stuff. I feel like we don't have time to go into everything, but do you want to just give us an overview of the other aspects that you're planning to launch later down the line?
Yeah, well, like we have a launchpad, a swap. There will be a block pay system. Obviously, at some point we'll have a wallet, and within that wallet you'll have tracking. We'll also be integrating into the multi-chain DEX swap, because while we when we create these modules, then we'll try to link everything one to the other. So within our ecosystem, you can pretty much do anything with our tokens, you know, in and out. And the end game for us would be fiat to be used directly to our ecosystem and out the other way.
Yep.
And that's the end game. Now, look, you know, this came about 12 months ago from a small Discord room where there was 40 or 50 of us sitting around chatting about, you know, it'd be a great idea to do this and do that. It turned into BLOCVAULT back last, I'm going to say the end of September, early October. We are where we are today, and we've probably got another 2.5, 3 years before this is all sitting in front of us running, you know, as like clockwork. But it has to start somewhere, and you know, the end game, as I said, is fiat in and fiat out, and that cross network solution throughout all of our ecosystem. So, you know, when somebody comes to our ecosystem, they'll be able to do whatever it is they want to do within crypto without having to hop around 10 or 12 different sites.
Yeah, makes sense. Makes sense. Okay, before we get into the where you're at in terms of funding for this, Toby, have you got anything else that you want to add?
No, I don't think so. Like, I'm quite impressed with the whole system and how it's thought out, to be honest with you. I'm super intrigued about strategies for BLOCVEST and how that's going to pan out. And I think we've discussed this in the past, Mark. There's been similar things that people discussing strategies is a good way to get engagement about a project. You know, there's some other similar kind of things out there that you probably know what I'm talking about. But yeah, it gets people talking, and it's a good way to get the ball rolling. And it hopefully, yeah, it'll come back to BLOCVAULT again and start building up from there.
Yeah, I think, and you know, Mark, our vision was very similar. I mean, when we released BLOCVAULT, we haven't really pushed BLOCVAULT that hard since we released it, but we knew BLOCVEST was on the way, right? And now we're pushing with AMA sessions and marketing big time over the last, you know, 5, 6 days, 7 days, and we'll continue to push right through pre-sale and on into launch. And what we're seeing now is we're seeing people coming in to look at BLOCVEST, and they're also saying, "Oh, right, I can stake my BLOCVEST tokens or BLOCVAULT tokens if I buy in there. God, that's a good deal, yeah, boom." And they're buying, you know. So we're getting 2 for the price of 1 right now, and that to me is smart road to take, as opposed to, you know, a load of marketing money gone there, and let's do it again here only a month later, you know.
Yeah, that definitely makes sense. It was one of the questions I was going to ask, to be honest. You know, what marketing was put in place at the start, because it's not really grown much in terms of BLOCVAULT, but it makes sense to hold out until you've got things like BLOCVEST, which can create some nice hype and interest to then, you know, start marketing a lot harder.
And I think, look, like down the line, as I said, you know, getting across to that Google AdWords platform with a product as opposed to crypto, right? That's massive. I mean, you've gone worldwide there straight away. I'm crypto AdWords qualified myself. As I said, I come from the e-commerce background with years. I'm 48 years old, guys. I've been in business since my arse was as big as a short button, because that's the way my family was. And so when it comes to, you know, throwing money stupidly into something, that's not the type of person I am. And I look at, you know, a way to kind of go, okay, hang on a second, you know, we've 3 or 4 weeks here and we're going to start advertising this. So you know what, that fucking sits, and this, you know, this comes next. And operating in that manner means that I think we end up further down the track for less bucks, right? And we have much more money to put into the project and to put into the development of the project going forward than, you know, wasting it all on pump and dump marketing and then sitting back and going, well, hang on a second, where are we going to find 50,000 to do this thing? You know what I mean?
100%. Yep. Agreed. Okay, so let's have a look at the private structure then, because that's what you're the stage you're at the minute, isn't it? In terms of BLOCVEST, your private sale is live at the moment. Is that right? Yeah.
Yeah, we've set private live a week ago, and I think As of right now, we are about 120 to 122 or 3 BNB into that. Next Wednesday, the 13th, the bronze NFT will no longer be available with max buy at the moment. If you do buy in max 2 BNB, we're giving that $1,000 NFT free. So everybody that is interested, or anybody that has an interest in getting into that private round, now is the time, because you've got that $1,000 NFT up until Wednesday the 13th.
Okay, and is there a minimum buy?
We haven't set a minimum buy on it, but I'm sure, you know, we could say 0.25 or something like that, but I don't think we really set a minimum.
Yeah. Okay, and how much are you looking to raise in total?
The total raise on this was set at 300 BNB.
Yep.
And then we moved to pre-sale. And
so are you going to pre-sale once you've reached that hard cap?
We'll probably have 2 weeks in the middle of that, I think, because I'd be fairly certain we're going to hit that hard cap on this, and we after Wednesday next, we leave it open for another week or so, or if we reach close to it, or somewhere around, you know, 200, 250, that will do fine. Just close it.
Yeah. Okay. And what's the discount off launch for that?
The actual price in private and pre-sale and launch is all the same. There is no difference. The only difference right now is that NFT is there.
Right, and obviously pre-sale, you won't get chance to have that NFT.
No.
Well, and then the incentive after the NFT is gone for either one would be you're getting in before having to pay the 10% entry tax, right? So
yeah,
that would be the only other thing there.
Yeah. Okay. And what are these funds going towards from private sale?
Private is going to development and marketing, as always. I'll bear in mind, guys, I'll say one thing as well here while we're here. We are working on this months. There isn't a single person on our team that gets paid wages. This is all for down the road with us. So it is all hands on deck because we want this to work long term. We're not taking money from anything right now and putting it into anybody's pocket, because everything is going towards, you know, develop, and there's a time on the line here where we can say, all right, okay, great job, you know what I mean? So we all have something back, right?
Yep.
At the moment, everything is going in. So private will go development and marketing, a certain portion of it. There will be a third of it or more left over, and then we will move to pre-sale. 80% of pre-sale will go to liquidity.
Okay. And how much are you raising at pre-sale?
We are looking at, I think, Jeremy, is it 700 or between 700 and 800, something like that? It's
700.
700 in pre-sale. Again, we're looking for a strong liquidity pool for launch.
Yes. Yep. And have you got a soft cap?
I believe the soft cap would be, you know, probably half that is the minimum. So
yep,
that's 350, probably 450-ish, somewhere in that ballpark. That still should give us a pretty healthy liquidity if we don't reach the hard cap. But
where are you planning to have the pre-sale? What platform?
that's not set in stone as of yet, but it's probably going to be Pink Sale.
Yeah, okay.
And then buy the tokens back before we go live.
Yeah, get that agreement in place.
100%.
So we're looking at a couple of, a week or two for the private, then you're going to have a couple of weeks break, go into pre-sale. And so when are you looking to launch?
We're probably going to launch somewhere around 4 to 5 weeks max.
Yeah.
It depends on Brew Labs being ready and having all of the, you know, everything running. And what we're not doing here is we're not launching if there's one of those vaults missing, because we're at a disadvantage going out the gate straight away. it happened back with BLOCVAULT when we launched. We were 24 hours behind the time, I think a little more, before we got the staking up and live. And in my opinion, that was a mistake, because if people could vest immediately, maybe they wouldn't, you wouldn't have as much of the red candle, right? So it's imperative that this goes everything open.
Yeah, you want people getting into that ecosystem from the get-go, don't you?
Absolutely.
One way or another, whichever vault they're putting it in, as long as they're putting it in a vault, like perhaps keeping a bit behind, but then that keeps it all locked up, doesn't it, and busy.
Absolutely. I mean, look, maximizing the ecosystem is good for the Treasury, everything. So, like, the more that we can maximize our ecosystem and offer that out there properly running, the healthier the ecosystem will be, and the bigger this can be for everybody involved.
Yep. And then, so obviously Brew Labs is doing your contract. There was multiple contracts involved, did you say? How many contracts are involved in creating this?
Yeah, there's about 9 contracts involved in everything. And they are making all 9 of those, as well as, getting everything tested and making sure everything's good to go. But like I said, we're not going to go live with this until all of that is fully done.
Yeah. Okay. So, looking at your roadmap as well, you've mentioned about getting a CertiK audit, but based on the number of contracts you have in, presumably that's going to be really expensive. Have you looked at costings for that? And is that still the plan?
It will be the plan at some stage. It probably won't come. Again, going back to BLOCVEST being one contract, one module, right? Or one simple vesting contract. Which is not anymore. So CertiK will be pushed out down the line. We'll probably go with something like Tech Rate Audit on this before it goes live. I know Brew Labs will have audited the contracts also, and I think they post on their website, of the audit results as well. So it'll be audited, in a multiple.
Yep. Okay.
Also, one thing to mention about Brew Labs is they do have experience with CertiK audits with their own things, as well as other projects they work for. So when it comes down to CertiK, we should be good to go.
Yeah, fair enough.
The guys over there are solid out.
What's that, sorry?
The guys at Brew Labs, they're some solid bunch I've come across in a long, long time.
Yeah, we've heard really good things about them. We're in talks with them at the moment, actually. So yeah, we have heard really good things about them. A few projects that we've had AMAs with recently have teamed up with them as well.
Well, I can tell you straight firsthand. I mean, I've dealt with Maverick there for, on the contracts for BLOCVAULT, the staking with BLOCVAULT through BLOCVEST. Absolute utter fantastic that's my opinion.
Oh, good. Good.
Nice just fighting the time zone, right? I'm presuming you're in Ireland, Celtic.
I hate to do this, guys, but I gotta run.
Yeah, that's cool.
If there's any questions, just DM me, guys. Okay.
Yeah, I'll drop the TG link for your guys in a minute. So anyone with any extra questions, they can head there and ask if they're not already in your group.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Jeremy.
Have a good one.
Yeah, have you got anything else to add, Toby?
No, mate. I mean, I think I've already covered it. It's quite complex and stuff, but I'm intrigued to see how it all pans out, and I'm looking forward to getting involved with them strategies a bit. I just kind of wish I had more time at the minute, because I'd probably be concentrated all on it, But yeah, like it's definitely interesting, and I'm looking forward to seeing how you develop it and how it helps BLOCVAULT and how it all comes together.
It should be quite good, and the animated videos that we have coming out, we've got this character called Block Buddy, and Block Buddy kind of explains everything and teaches you how to use things, how to go into the vault and everything. So, and he's going to feature for Block Swap, Block Launch, and we will do another one for the whole ecosystem. So he's going to be kind of our mascot, who educates newcomers to our ecosystem. So BlockBuddy will be the guy.
I think there's definitely a good way of doing it. Creating those visuals are really going to help people understand how it works, especially for those that don't want to spend an hour and a half on listening to an AMA. So when will those be ready?
The designer of that, he's doing the first one right now. I wrote the script for it and sent it to him 4 or 5 days ago, and he said about 7 to 10 days. So I'd be expecting it in the next week.
Okay, yeah, that's decent.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm kind of stoked for it to come too, because I really want to see it, you know.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah. Okay. Oh, yeah. Probably a good time now to open up to Q&A. I've just noticed that Ahmed has put his hand up, so I'll unmute you, mate. If you want to unmute yourself, you can ask a question.
Good evening, man.
Hey, mate.
Thank you for giving me opportunity. Can I ask a question?
What?
Do you have any white paper?
No.
Yes, please share with us.
No, it's not quite ready yet, but they will be releasing it hopefully in the next couple of days. It's almost there.
Okay. And secondly, community is for every project. So how do you plan encourage your community and promote them to hold your token long run? What your marketing strategy?
I didn't quite catch that, mate. Can you put your microphone a little bit closer or speak a little bit louder?
I think the main point of it, what's the marketing strategy?
Yeah. Our strategy, and we touched on that slightly earlier here in the AMA, but our strategy is long-term and slow. And our products will do the talking as opposed to wasting funds on unviable marketing, basically. So we plan to market, and obviously as the ecosystem gets bigger, that plan will get bigger. But for the time being, we're being very conservative and very clever about how we market and where we market and what we spend that on, because I'm a big believer in build it and they will come, right? That's my answer to that one.
Yep. and I agree that with that we've had loads of.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Got it. Thank you.
Thanks,
Good luck
mate.
for your project.
Okay. Anyway, I'll Baby X Mod. Do you want to ask your question? Baby X Mod, if you want to unmute yourself. Okay. If not, we'll go to Flowfro. Go on, Baby X Mod. Go for it.
Yeah, I can't hear you at all, mate. You need to turn your mic up, speak into your mic, speak loud and clear. If not, type your text, type your question.
No, super quiet.
Just type your text, type your question, mate, in chat, and if it's relative, I'll ask it. Cheers.
Raz, if you want to unmute yourself and ask your question, that's Raz.
Hey, how are you?
Good.
Hey, Raz.
How are you?
Can I question?
Go for it.
How the token will provide benefit to its holder? Can you explain?
Raz, I'm going to stop you now, mate, because this is a question that's already been answered in the AMA, okay, buddy? So if you're not going to be here for the start of the AMA, buddy, you can catch the recording, okay, mate? Thanks. Right, so anyone else got any more questions? I'm not messing about today with questions that have already been answered.
Just going down the chat, but can't see anything else. No, I think we'll finish off with the classic legit crypto lounge question, if that's okay, Celtic.
Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah. Okay. So for us, this is really relevant to your project, especially with it being a full ecosystem with loads of utilities and a long-term vision. So with that said, at what point does this project become a success to you?
Okay, at what point does it become a success to me?
I can hear the cogs ticking.
That's a great question, actually. And to be honest with you, when I see the 5 tokens doing what they're meant to do and the ecosystem is complete, and I mean completely complete, then it becomes a success to me. Until then, we have much work to do, and I know when we get to that point, we'll even have more to do. But when I see that, then it's a real success. What the charts do, what the market caps are between here and there, they don't interest me. What interests me is bringing this to fruition, and you know, having one interact with the other, and the end game is when it's up and running.
Yeah, nice answer. I think obviously you've got a long-term vision for the project, haven't you? And the chart is going to be reflected once all of those utilities are out there. So it kind of sells itself, doesn't it, at that point? And you don't need to worry about the chart because these utilities are all going to feed into that automatically by that point.
They'll toe the line with the value of what we do.
Yep. Yeah. Makes sense. That's great. Well, thanks a lot for coming and joining us and presenting BLOCVEST to us. Have you got any closing statement you'd like to make?
Yeah, listen, guys, to yourselves, thank you very much for having us. We're delighted to come over and have the chat and you know, talk to you some more about the new modules and BLOCVEST coming out and the ecosystem and everything else and our plans for the future. I'm sure it's not the last you'll see of us because we have a lot going on over time, and we'll certainly be calling on you again. And so to everybody that joined in the AMA, thank you very much for listening to us. I know we're here a long time with all the questions and answers. And yeah, look, great being here. Fantastic AMA, and I'm happy we stopped in.
Awesome. Appreciate that. Thanks a lot, Celtic. Good luck with your private sale and launch, and definitely keep us updated with progress and stuff, and would love to have you back once you've established your next utility as well.
Great. Yeah. Fantastic.
Yeah, thanks a lot, buddy. It was good.
Thanks, guys. I'm going to head on off. I have some prepping to do before I go to the next one in an hour and a half, so